Now, before I smack you in the head, because how are you as a grown man copying and pasting other people's aesthetics? Let me just relax. Let me chill here. Let me try to be understanding. Actually, no. How are you as a grown man? You know, I'll be understanding. I know what it's like when you're at that point where you're trying to really improve your fashion, and it can be kind of overwhelming, like trying to find your style and kind of where you fit in this whole fashion space. So like always, I'm here to help you guys elevate your styles and really put you guys on. So let's go through the 10 key archetypes I see in fashion. So this video can kind of serve as like a starting point for you guys in finding your own personal style. Now, the first style we're going to talk about has to be soft ass nigga. This one here has been going platinum for some of you boys out there because I see what's going on in the community, right? Like, we are having an era of just sassy men. I don't know what it's, this whole hyper focus on looks maxing and hygiene and grooming. I mean, let me correct myself, guys. There's nothing wrong with hygiene and grooming and being the best man, but is this necessary? Okay, so the next aesthetic we got here has to be the gym bro. I'll go ahead and include athleisure wear and like, you know, that sporty wear because they're all kind of just different flavors of the same dish. And this one, I feel like we've all been at this stage in our life, you know, like you're really waking up to the importance of fitness and exercise, and you're really having that burning desire to like hit your physical peak, you know, whether your inspiration came from, you know, those brain rot TikTok motivational videos, or if your inspiration came from Piccolo.
What's good, my nigga? Nagita, someone with no hair like you shouldn't even be. I apologize.
Hey, what's good, my nigga?
One thing I've noticed with this style, right? It really reflects on how jacked you are. Let me just be real. It really reflects on how jacked you are, because the more, let's just say the higher your bench press is, the less need for a t-shirt I've noticed with this aesthetic, you know? Motherfuckers be looking for any opportunity to take that bit. And hey, I'm all down for seeing a chiseled, muscular, strong... Oh, dude, I can't include that, man. That's sus as fuck. What I mean to say is I definitely think how far deep you are into this aesthetic correlates with how intense you are with your gym, right? So this one's less of a style really, and more just a reflection of your lifestyle. Now next, we got our Y2K warriors. The Visu jeans, the TikTok shop hoodies, you know, the rhinestone bitches and shit, the loud trucker. Man, this style was putting in work in 2022, but ultimately 2024, this shit's dying, man. At least for dudes, that's what I'm saying, for dudes. This shit is dying. I feel like a lot of the people into this sort of aesthetic have moved on to either a lot more preppier looks or a lot more grungier looks. Now next, let's talk about Gorpcore. Gorpcore. You guys definitely had your time in the spotlight for a minute, man. You guys had that legendary run back in COVID, right? Anyone remembers all the memes we were seeing about this shit? Like this was the culture back then. If you were into fashion back then, you guys would see this jacket everywhere. And don't forget about this beanie. This motherfucker was everywhere. And you know, it was a fun time. I can't hate on it at all. This is when we started to see people really shift away from that one specific hype beast, like sneaker culture type of look. Back then, when you say you're into fashion, that was predominantly the biggest community then. But this kind of marked the shift that we see now in fashion, where there's so many different diverse varieties of like aesthetics and niches and different looks. I actually had to limit myself to 10 aesthetics because I had so much more I wanted to put here, and it's just crazy to think how big the fashion space is nowadays. So I know how exactly overwhelming it can be within this sort of atmosphere we're in now, trying to find your own personal style. Like this shit ain't easy anymore. I mean, just by improving your style, it's insane how much you can boost your confidence, boost your attractiveness, and just become a lot more comfortable and really like in your own skin, like just off the power of your clothing. Like it's so insane to me. So if you're having any trouble navigating through specific problems or just wanting like one-on-one help, I've been getting some people reaching out to me and requesting some more help and kind of that next level of support to really up their style. And it's been nice. Like I'm working with a few people as well, and they've been loving the support, and it's been fun kind of seeing that transformation. Like if you're interested in something like that, like you can go ahead and book a call with me in the description. Now next up, I've got your classic streetwear bandit, and these guys are definitely going to be one of the more common fashion archetypes out of this list. And you know, in fact, this is probably a rite of passage for a lot of us. Like a lot of us had to go through this to get to where we are right now, you know what I'm saying? And I remember reading a comment on one of my videos. Actually, hold up, I'll get the comment right now, guys. Let's read the comment out right now. Streetwear shifted the world of fashion like never before. It stripped it down to its core and shat out all kinds of styles put together, in my opinion. Literally anything and everything is streetwear these days. A shirt and tie, streetwear, depending on what you wear it with. I genuinely love this comment because what even is streetwear? It's so true. Like, as I was writing this script, I was literally about to say even Adidas Sambas, like jorts, like that's streetwear though, really? Like, is that not streetwear? Like, I don't know, it's just, this one's a tough one. But if you guys are interested in sort of how to dress streetwear, I go in a lot more detail in that in my video up here, so I don't really want to waste too much time in this like yapping here. Just check out that video. Okay, now the next archetype has to be earth ass nigga. Yo, I'm loving the fucking names I'm coming up with for these aesthetics. Like, oh my god. You know the type of dudes that love to tell you how deodorant's killing you and you need to limit your screen time to 2 hours a day and hop on a carnivore diet to live life fulfilled. And you know, one of those is actually kind of true. But yeah, this one's probably more of a niche aesthetic, and more because it's not really like a intended, curated like fashion statement, and it's more of like just a reflection of their lifestyle. So it is what it is. Now, next up is gonna have to be the designer demon. And this one speaks to me heavily because, I mean, come on. But you know, I don't really have much to say about this aesthetic because, like, keep it real, a lot of these people, right? And anyone who falls in this category, like, come on, how obnoxious are you, bro? Like, you really love having monograms and brands printed on you. Like, what is wrong with you, you fuck? Like, I don't understand the kind of low self-esteem like motherfuckers would have to be going up and just plastering themselves full of just branding. Like, it's just ridiculous, you know? Now, let's talk about old money / quiet luxury. And you know, this couldn't be a fashion video in 2024 without some mention of this trend. Like, this trend's been way too big for me not to talk about it. And I did address this in my 2024 trends, like prediction videos and everything. And my thoughts on this is an annoying aesthetic, a really obnoxious, annoying aesthetic. And not because the actual looks or the style and language is bad. I actually think it looks pretty good. Like, it's just traditional menswear, right? Simple, minimalist kind of design. But this one is so annoying because of the obnoxious community and mindset behind it. Like, the weird fucking flex and superiority people have about dressing old money and looking really subtle and put together. Like, you know, that stuff was just so corny to me. Okay, so next, let's talk about grunge or like punk, like that type of look. And this style here, see, because it's not really something I'm that into, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. But just being like a general fashion enthusiast, I fuck with this because to me, and the people who generally rock this is like the ultimate self-expression of your personality, of your likes, of your hobbies, of the community you're part of. And that's just a beautiful thing, isn't it? And lastly, workwear is going to be the final aesthetic we talk about here, guys. Shout out my concrete boys. But you know, this is actually a style I think is pretty clean. Like, although you can say it's a little like formulaic and a little bit like done out too much. Let me actually give you this question. If not for the fact you were so caught up and obsessed with like keeping up with trends on the like internet and stuff, if you just saw someone like this out in public, would you be like, yep, this is a workwear nigga, right? Like, no, you would be like, oh, this is just a well-dressed guy. Like, to me, this archetype or this aesthetic, right, is just a very easily wearable type of fashion. Like, it just looks like clean everyday wear, you know, and that's why I fuck with it. It's just nice and simple. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. And I guess that's gonna be the video, guys.